The Duke's daughter, despite possessing an immense amount of magical power, couldn't even light a single candle. Meanwhile, the maid, who was attempting magic for the first time, could effortlessly perform the spell. In order for his daughter to attend the Royal Academy, the Duke had no choice but to hire a private tutor for her. At that time, Jack had just failed his exam to become a royal palace magician. Thanks to his professor's recommendation, Jack became the Duke's daughter's tutor. Job was to help her master magic. Soon Jack arrived at the Duke's mansion and met the Duke in person. In this country there are 4 powerful dukes, each responsible for guarding a specific territory. The Duke before Jack took pride in his military heritage, but this also caused him great frustration. He had 2 daughters. Josie lacked sufficient magical power to master their family's ancient magic, and Jenny, who had no magical talent at all. She couldn't even use basic magic. As a result, he wanted Jenny to give up learning magic. However, Jack disagreed with the Duke's viewpoint, believing that the choice should be Jenny's alone. That night the Duke held a welcome party for Jack, and Jack met his 2 students. Next day Jack set up an exam to test their abilities, which consisted of both written and practical tests. To his surprise, Jenny scored a perfect score on the written exam. Soon the practical magic segment began. Jenny, feeling discouraged, was anxious because she had tried many times before and had never been able to cast a spell, but Jack was confident that he could teach her. Hearing this, Jenny regained some hope. Before the practical session, Jack explained the different magical attributes. In this world, there are 7 different magical properties. Everyone is born with 1 or 2 of these attributes. By combining various attributes, magic can produce different effects. Then the practical test began. Under Jack's patient guidance, Ellie easily lit a candle and then extinguished it using wind magic. Jack praised Ellie for her performance. Next, it was Jenny's turn. As Jenny prepared to cast her spell, Jack sensed the flow of magic inside her and saw that her steps were flawless. However, when she attempted to release the magic, nothing happened. Jenny had an enormous amount of magical power, so the issue likely lay in discovering the cause behind this failure. Jack never expected that the reason Jenny couldn't use magic was because of her jealousy of Ellie's constant progress. This jealousy ultimately caused her magical powers to go out of control. One day during their usual lesson, Ellie easily succeeded in casting her magic, but Jenny still couldn't do it. Frustrated, Jenny began visiting the library every day. She hoped to find answers by reading books on magic to understand why she couldn't use her powers. The next morning, Jenny angrily confronted Jack. She had discovered Jack and Ellie walking alone together. Although Jack explained that he was just helping Ellie gather some vegetables, Jenny didn't seem to believe him. Instead, she became jealous of Ellie. While Ellie was becoming more proficient with magic, Jenny continued to fail, just as before. Knowing that, Jack had not yet found a solution to Jenny's problem, the Duke asked Jack to tell Jenny to give up, but Jack didn't do that. Instead, he stayed up late studying Jenny's magical issue. The next morning he overslept. When he finally arrived at the greenhouse, he found that Jenny had stayed there all night. Seeing Jack, Jenny felt guilty because Jack had been staying up late every day to help her. While she still couldn't use magic, Jenny was heartbroken from all the repeated failures. Every time she saw Ellie making progress and receiving praise from Jack, jealousy slowly consumed her. At that moment, Jenny's magical power suddenly erupted. Seeing this, Jack desperately tried to reach her, hoping to calm her down.